every night, and every night she told me her war stories of domestic violence with my father, not with the person that she was married to, but with my father. Now, I
Okay.
knew my father was abusive to her, because I witnessed certain things when I was a little girl. I
Right.
was that little girl, now check this out, I was that little girl who witnessed those beatings and thought that that was love. Literally,
Wow.
literally, I kid you
Yeah.
not. So I chose the same exact type of man that my mother chose. Now here
Yep.
I was, a little young girl, 14, choosing a boy, and when you get slapped, that's supposed to be love.
Right.
Nobody was there to tell me differently. My father said he loved my mother, so that must be love. People hear this kind of stuff and they say, "Oh, you must be crazy." No, no, no. People just don't talk about it. That's all. People
Exactly.
want to keep things like that secret, but not to stray off the subject. Somewhere in a Rainbow is the story about when my mother in 2020 this book was published, when my mother came to live, and I totally relapsed into a whole post-traumatic stress disorder situation, because her stories and my story when I was in that type of relationship, they mirrored each other. You know what I mean? And
Hmm.
because it triggered me, I became hopeless. I became hopelessly lost in terms of what I was going to do, how I was going to do it. Now, I'm saying that to say a lot of things, but one particular thing is that a lot of people think that because they've been successful all their lives and they've escaped certain things that they should have, you know, have counsel or talk about, or things that they stuffed. You know what I
Hmm.
mean? They
Hmm.
stuffed. My whole belief is that eventually, you're going to have to let that out. You're going to have to let it go, or
Yes,
find
ma'am.
some way to deal with it when you start thinking about it too hard. Because stress is real, heart attacks are real, headaches, overeating, over drinking. We sometimes, when you're going through things mentally, you try to do something else to try to get rid of that feeling that you're experiencing, because and especially
Exactly.
when you get a certain age, you feel like when you get a certain age you should have become wise enough to know how to deal with stuff. No, 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 that's not always the truth. That not I mean, certain things, yeah, but I was a counselor, I was an educator, I taught people, I counseled people, I did all these things. Here I am in my daggone 60s, and I'm at the end. I'm feeling hopelessly. I didn't see any light at the end of the tunnel at all. So the
Right.
only thing that I was able to do, and the Creator God allowed me to do, was call on my higher source, call on my higher
Okay.
power.